Oh, we're ready to go. Hello, everybody. My name is Al Graham, and you're with People Advocating Cannabis Education. P.A.C.E is about promoting the benefits of cannabis, which we do through educational documentaries and public education. Today, we are at the Grindhouse Cafe here in Campbellford, and I'd like to introduce to a fellow by the name of John Berfelo, a cannabis advocate who will talk to us about being a patient, as well as the TY Expo, and what he is doing around the world to help legalize cannabis. Hello, John. How are you?
Not too bad, Al. How are you doing today?
Good, good.
Good.
It's Mother's Day here today, but we're getting a little bit of Mother Nature's a little angry. This morning we had some sunshine, but since then we've been getting cloud, rain, hail, and a mix of everything else that you can throw in there.
Yeah, I think I got the same thing going on here.
Do ya?
Yeah, we got some rain. Now BC is not shining today.
Yeah. Oh no, really, eh?
But it was kind of nice. Woke up this morning, called my mom, wished her happy Mother's Day, and then put a nice picture of a nice flower of some nice Medi-Cush, of course, on Facebook for a nice flower for all the moms out there.
Nice, nice.
Happy Mother's Day to all of the moms out there. You know, nice little flower for them to look at. So.
That's awful kind of you. Awful kind of you, I would say.
Gotta do that on special occasions, right?
Pardon me?
You gotta do that on special occasions.
That's right, you sure do, and today is a special day.
A beautiful flower on a nice Mother's Day, and a lot of people who don't understand it, they look at the picture like, oh, that's beautiful, and then they realize that it's cannabis, and like, oh, and then they start reading about it, and it's just another way of getting that education out there, because it's such a beautiful plant to look at, and you can't deny, no one can deny how beautiful a flower looks. So
that's right.
I mean, it's just another way of spread the word.
Exactly, and some of those flowers can get really colorful too, eh?
Oh, purples and the hues, and I got some pistol reds right now and some dark. Oh yeah,
I think every mother should receive a flower like that.
I think everybody. I don't even have a plant here for you. I might have to go get one.
Yeah, maybe, eh?
Oh, it only takes me a second here.
Okay, go ahead, grab that, and we'll get that on display there, so everybody will be able to see it. Just sort of like at the Treating Yourself Expo, they had plants on display, so we'll have some on display here while we're talking to John.
Oh, we just got a nice, beautiful flower here. Look at that.
Ah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, grown with Medi-One. You know, this
yes.
is Medi-Haze. It's a Medi-Kush cross with skunk haze. Actually, it's something that I've been working on for a few years now, and it's, as you can see, it's a beautiful, nice internode spacing, nice little flower.
Oh, nice, very nice, and organic at that.
Always organic. That's how we grow our medicine, right?
That's right.
Yeah. No, it's important.
Well, John, can you, before we get into some questions here, can you tell us a bit about yourself? You know, do you have any hobbies, any education or special training that you could share with the people?
Well, I guess my hobby since myself, in 2005, I fell 28 feet onto concrete and suffered traumatic injuries, 18 injuries in total from workplace accidents, and really used cannabis recreational beforehand, but came to realize now how I've used cannabis basically my whole life for medical purposes, from probably mild ADHD as a younger boy to now using it for full pain control for my injuries. It's turned into a hobby of mine. I research it, I understand it, I grow it. That is my hobby. I love what I do. Educating and understanding how this plant has helped me and helped so many other people, how it grows. Yeah, you know what? It's just a happy place right now because of what happened to me with my fall and stuff like that, and able to get off of pharmaceutical drugs using cannabis. Getting better educated, working with Dr. Hornby, working with a lot of compassionate in town, to Fighting Work Safe BC to have, My Back to Work program is a legal medical cannabis educator / advocate, and for the last 4.5 years, I have been educating growers at a local hydroponic store on the equities of cannabis, helping
Nice.
helping customers come in and get licenses, because the ones that are coming in and buying supplies to grow small gardens are medicinal patients, and they don't realize it until they're like, well, yeah, I have this pain or that pain. So over the last 4 years, I've probably helped over 1,000 patients get licenses.
Nice.
And that's kind of what I do. I'm educating and advocating for that beautiful plant right there. That's what I'm doing out.
That's a very special hobby that you're doing there. And you know, I guess I never really looked at it as a hobby, but you're not the first one to say that to me, and you guys are completely true. It's something that we do out of love of doing it.
My psychologist says
It's like with a hobby. You know,
I get out of bed in the morning to water my medicinal garden, because I don't take cannabis in my reports with WorkSafe, but they're very clear on how it helps me every day, because I want to do it. It's something that I enjoy doing, right? It is a
right.
hobby.
Exactly.
And it gives me a quality of life at the same time, because it gives me something to do other than to deal with just my injuries, and at the same time, it helps me so much.
Exactly. Exactly. You know, I know I was talking to some people, and you know, they said, well, what do you do all day? You know, if you're off sick from work, well, you know, you get involved in something that you enjoy doing. You know, and this is something that I know I enjoy doing, and obviously you do as well.
Oh, understanding how cannabis affects people for medicine, and I say a little bit of activated THC daily for general well-being. Everybody needs it. It helps them poop better, helps them sleep,
Yeah.
helps them get through their day,
Keeps.
relax the central nervous system,
Yes.
severe pain control, nausea.
Immune system.
Okay, now the list goes on and on and on.
There's lots there. So you mentioned you had a workplace injury with your back. Can you tell us a bit about what happened?
Well, back in 2005, I was at work. I woke up early one morning. It's actually my story is in last issue, TY issue 39. To really get into it, you'll find my story in there. The article here on Cannabis is on me. But right now, to the audience and the people that are listening and watching, I fell 28 feet on the concrete in 2005. I broke my neck in 4 places. I shattered my arm in 15. I broke my back. I shattered my ankle. I broke my teeth. I dislocated my wrist. I have a compound committed fracture. I got lots of injuries.
Oh, wow.
I was hooked on I wouldn't say hooked on pharmaceutical drugs. Doctors gave you something called what I would call a pain special. I was taking 32 a day to deal with all of my conditions. Funny now I only take 1, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
This is what I was taking, and I started realizing I was chasing pain. And then I found a beautiful brownie from British Columbia Compassion Club Society. It was a brownie that was being baked by the president at that time, and it was all being done through Dr. Hornby. So that's how I initially found Dr. Hornby, and started realizing how much decarboxylated THC helped me so much with pain control.
And you just want to give a quick explanation of that, just so people will understand what you're talking about?
So when you to decarboxylate the THC molecule, you're knocking off the decarboxyl group. So you got to heat it in order for it to bind to receptors in the brain properly. There's more articles, of course, on it. We've had lots of publications. Paul's been at issue 32 TY. I probably have a stack of them over there, but there's lots of education on how cannabis is heated, so it binds the receptors in the brain to help with pain control, other than getting high from it. Looking at more of a medicinal part of it.
That would be as a THC acid, correct? As a
you come off the THC acid. THC acid, you get all the delta tetrahydrocannabinol, right?
Yep.
Big delta THC, right? So I take a capsule form of THC, Cannacaps, and this is heated. Basically, we did talks on it last year at TY, and for your basic user, grind up your cannabis, put it in the oven, wrap it in tin foil so it's airtight, bake it for 30 minutes at 300 degrees. You've now decarboxylated your cannabis to a certain ratio that you can get the same efficacy over and over if you're growing your own medicine and able to start standardizing everything. And that's how I'm able to standardize my cannabis, so it helps me with my pain control every day, right?
Correct. So with all these injuries, were you at any time told that you may not be able to walk or be paralyzed for life or anything like that?
When I walked in to see my doctor, which was the head chief surgeon at Royal Clement Hospital, who was called in for an emergency to come in and save my life, which he did. There would be no other doctor to do that. I have a new plate in my neck. It's self-tapping screws. It's about the size of, about that big of a cell phone in my neck. And I lost track of what I was talking about. You're gonna have to.
Yeah. You got the bolts in your neck. And I was asking about were you expecting to be paralyzed?
So the doctor, when I walked into his office 3 months later, he goes, "Look at you," because I knew you'd be coming in here. I'm having complications with my injuries as I'm moving forward with them and stuff like that. Knees are burning worse. I'm having more problems with the lower lumbar because of I still have an S1 L5 disc herniation that's pushing on the nerve root. I've been fused between the L3, L4, and I've had exploratory surgery in L4, L5. So with the extent of my injuries, I'm glad to be walking right now. I do exercise. Last year, I just picked up 10 pounds, and since then, I haven't been able to exercise anymore because of my back. I'm waiting on more testing, stuff like that. I use creams a lot. Cannabis creams, so that helps with my burning in my knees. Yeah, you know what? Doctors say I'm doing very well. And
well, hey, if you just seeing you up and walking around, that's that itself is a miracle.
You me over the last 3 years at TY Expo 2010, 2011, 2012. Everybody said I was doing even better this year. I'm just the same as last year. You know what? I'm moving forward with my injuries. I'm doing lots of education. I'm changing people's lives because when they know the extent of my injuries and they see what I take, they're so eager to start trying. And then when they start getting on pharma, it's the best feeling helping people. I think that's why I do it, is because no one hates you when you're helping them.
They don't. They really don't. And I can tell you from doing non-cannabis public education, that people don't expect to see you. Once you start talking about cannabis, they really want to know more. They really do. So people are getting tired of the pharmaceutical routes.
I think people are getting tired of the side effects. All the unknown you may get. Listen to the ads on TV. This drug, okay, the side effects, they got to name like 15 side effects: heart palpitation, nausea, dizziness, may cause, you know what, like.
It's 3/4 of the commercial. Played with some nice soft music in the background, right? Yeah, doctor. So, did you go through I'm assuming you've gone through all the regular route of having to deal with pain pills or patches and stuff like that?
Oh, yeah. They've had me on pretty much every heavy narcotic for pain control. I was taking 280 milligrams a day of OxyContin. Now I take roughly, each cap is 50 milligrams of THC. I take 2 in the morning, 2 in the afternoon, 2 at night. That's 300 milligrams in a capsule form. I then use breakthrough pain. I use dry sift. So I'm harvesting my heads through screens and using 70U. I use that, of course, on my Beaker First Plies TY bong here.
Nice.
I think we might have to do a hit of that right now.
All right, go right ahead.
And learning how to actually clean my medicine. I do other stuff. I have some stuff here from Dab, and it's from a lab here in Vancouver, which is a triple purge. I've never tried it really. I picked some up actually 2 days ago, and I'm quite impressed with it because it's not there's nothing in the back end of it. It seems very clean. It's got a very good high. I do enjoy the taste. I prefer dry sifts, but of course I'm a connoisseur and I'm always looking for something that's going to help me with my pain. I'm finding, like this morning I woke up with just a really bad headache, weather changing, stuff like that. I grabbed some of this Burmese, and wow, it was gone. It was really nice.
So,
Yeah.
so what is there any method that, I guess it depends on what your condition or what you're dealing with at that moment. Like you mentioned, you've got cream for your knees,
Yeah.
your pills to deal with
Uh,
pain. You've got
I use
smoking.
pills mostly for muscle spasms because I get constant spasming because of all the damage. So you find that, like I deal with other injured workers, and like one guy says, these caps and how you told me how to do it is just amazing. Thank you, because the whole thing is converted forms of THC that are binding, that you're eating, that are properly decarboxylated, are helping people so much with muscle spasms and pain control more. You're not getting high from it. I have a good friend of mine now who does not like to be high at all. I get him high. I hit him with a sublimator the other day. He doesn't like it, but he only wants he has a very different kind of condition where tumors grow on his nerves. He's had major surgeries. Here's another testimonial. This guy was on tons of pharma, bouncing all around. Over the last couple of years, he's changed. He's off all his pharma. His church sees a difference. His dad, who's an RCMP officer for 30 years, can't believe what his son is doing using cannabis, amino acids, everything. It's just another. I'm signing off because it's just another amazing thing that you see daily.
Yeah.
Doing what we do so much, Al. It's just so nice to see it, and there's always the thank you. And I'm like, no, don't thank me. You're doing it yourself. Thank yourself for taking control of your life, and not letting doctors tell you, here, you need this pill or that pill, right? So
And share that knowledge with others. Spread
like
that around and tell people about it.
You show them the door and say, go right there. Believe me, it's gonna help.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And if you don't like I said, here's a gentleman that does not like getting high at all. He's that type of person. He might have a couple of glasses of wine. So dosing him took time in order for him to start realizing, and then the church and everybody seeing a difference to him losing like 35 pounds because all the drugs he was. His doctor wouldn't even sign for him, Al, and they were giving him Nabalone.
Oh.
And it's synthetic THC, but they wouldn't give him a license.
Oh, that's not right.
And a doctor who was going to charge him for it, I couldn't believe he was going to charge him for it because that's just the way the system is, called him and did a pro bono for him because of his condition, and now he's educating his doctor and his psychologist, volunteers at the Cancer Center, and just that one little thing, he is now, it's like a virus.
It does, eh?
So many people,
and they see how much he's improved, and other people will be, are believers as well because of what he's done and doing.
Well, you know what? I mean, more and more people are getting into it, and I think I was telling you about that information that we're being handed to doctors on the synergies on how to prescribe cannabis.
Yeah. And the nice thing about, like you talked about these alternative ways of using the cannabis, a lot of people, maybe someone who's 52 years old, never smoked in their lives, they don't want to start smoking, but yet you're proof right there that people can just pop a pill, a capsule with THC in it, not smoke it, and get great medicinal benefits out of it.
Really determines the strain with the caps too.
Mm-hmm.
Like Michael, he takes a high CBD, very low THC strain that he really likes, which is very well known on here called Haley's, which is like a tuxedo time or pheno, but this phenotype happens to be extremely all CBD and virtually no THC. Right. So, I mean, it's just another one of those miracles, right? There's 1,000 strains out there. Every strain's got a different pharmacology, different efficacy. So it's if one doesn't work, move on until you find something, because I guarantee there's a strain out there for you.
That's right. That's right. I sort of look at it as when you go into the drugstore, okay, pharmacy, you'll see the aspirin row. You'll see piles of different kinds of aspirin, where it's Advil, Tylenol, what's that? Yeah, there's all kinds of different kinds of name brand aspirins out there, and not everybody can take every kind of aspirin. You know, they affect people differently. Like myself, I can only take Tylenol. I can't take anything that's got any inflammatories in it. And cannabis is the same thing. There's a bunch of different varieties, and they have different effects, and they treat people differently. So yeah, and look at it as I blame all this lack of knowledge and research on prohibition.
100%.
Yep. Without it,
100%.
we'd have all that stuff.
I
So
mean, that's the whole thing, right? I mean, we've been lied to for 100 years,
yeah,
right? And now that farmers cashing in on it, what are they doing? They're putting in licensed producers. They're legalizing Spain, Czech Republic. I mean, look what's happening all over the world now. And it's only because now they found a way of maybe cashing in on it, right?
correct. Yeah, yeah.
But
Exactly.
at the same time, at least now, with social media, what's happening, it's a household name now. It's everybody knows about it. I'm going to just do some market research on these little containers that I'm grinding here with.
Okay, yeah.
And the people that are medicating are between the ages of 35 and 60. That is the biggest thing. And I talked to with Jody, I've talked to it with Dana, I've talked with other people here in town that are trying to push this movement forward about educating. You'll see it with Sensible BC, like I was saying. Most of the people that are going to all of these meetings are people that be 35 to 40. 45, 50. These are the ones that are starting to get arthritis, starting to feel the pain and stuff like that, and realizing, hey, I don't want to be high on pharma. Hey, for one, my kids are stealing it from the cupboard. That's the biggest thing on the radio now. You know, your kids are getting high
Correct.
from your pills. That's
One
what,
in every 5 pills.
Well, yeah, it's the biggest drug on the market right now because it's free.
That's right. Yeah.
That's not why. I mean, come on, kids just go in mom's cupboard and they grab an Oxycontin or something like that. I mean, the reason why it's big is because it's free.
Yeah.
It's all fun. It's just a vicious circle. Now we're going to put more education into helping our kids not be on the drugs that are in our cupboards, and it's all funded through our taxpayers. It's just another way of supporting an industry. That's another topic.
Yeah, I know. Believe me. Okay, let's do a little bit of a switch here. Were you always a cannabis consumer, or was this something that happened after your injury?
I have been a cannabis consumer since I was young.
Yeah.
And like I said, realizing, well, I guess I used all kinds of different kind of drugs through high school and always used cannabis. All my other friends that I knew, some of them were on Ritalin and stuff like that. Then I got in a car accident and I started more using cannabis again for pain control. Off of it for a while. And when I got hurt, I wasn't really using it that much. It was just more recreational.
Yeah.
In the morning, after work at night to rest, stuff like that. And after my accident, it became an everyday, every morning, every afternoon, non-stop to deal with pain that now I can concentrate on and lead a better quality of life. So I now fully use it as a medicine, whereas before I was using it recreational, but now realizing at 40 and the education that I've learned, I've been using it as medicine my whole life.
Good. That's right. That's what some people say, is that the people who are using it recreationally are actually using it medicinally. They just don't know yet.
Oh, I've got friends. They got burns, everything like that. I'm like, oh, well. I said, well, you don't think that's not medicine for you? Come on, guy. Like,
Come on, exactly.
You smoke how I smoke, and I know what I go through. So you're not, and you're fine. So when I see people that are chronics, they're chronics because of a condition or something that's happened to them. It could be post-traumatic stress. There could be several different reasons why someone is using cannabis on a daily basis. If they're not using it because they're drug addicts. They're using it because they're medical patients looking for something to help them with their condition other than a pill that the doctor's going to give them.
That's right. Yep.
Pretty much.
Yep. Let's see what else we got here before we move on to another subject. I wanted to touch on Dr. Hornby and what you've been doing with him.
Me and Paul, since 2006, have been doing research on cannabis and converted forms of THC and how they help people with different conditions. I've been published with Paul on several occasions. The more recent one was a medical journal in the UK, which mentions Marco.
Oh, yes.
From TY, because they were part sponsor of the article and stuff like that.
Right.
It's actually standardized cannabis and pain management. And this article is 16 pages.
Nice.
And you can get this. I don't know if you can see that or not.
Not very good. Not very clear. I can just see there's a black square there. No, sorry. No.
Okay.
No, nice try though. Nice try. Appreciate the.
I tried.
You tried, man.
What
You got is there a website or something that somebody could go and see that at? That being
in issue 39 of TY on my story, it has all the articles that I've been published on, and they're links to published in PubMed. The other one's in a medical journal in the UK. There's one that I worked on with my ex, why amino acids work, and we talk about different amino acids along with converted forms of THC to help with different conditions. That is probably one of my key articles that I refer people to.
Yeah. And
that's in issue 22, Why Amino Acid Works, at Treating Yourself magazine. And we do a lot of talk on how different amino acids naturally slows down pain transmission, mixed with converted forms of THC. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Cannabis and the GABA, there's other things that I take, not just cannabis, right? To help me. Tyrosine, phosphatidylserine, which is a neurological support to help take the fog out, because when you live in a lot of chronic pain, you forget a lot of things. You get a pain and then you lose track. You get into a fog.
Yeah.
That's why I can't hold a job on a daily basis, is because I do forget a lot, because when you pain, like when I was talking to you earlier, I lose track.
Right.
You start talking, you do something that's like, uh-oh.
Yeah, that can happen.
And that's just, it's people think it's like, oh, that's marijuana. It's like, no, it's not.
So when you've been to the expos and stuff, I'll get into that in a second here. Usually you go up on stage with Dr. Hornby when he's doing his speech or his talk, and the two of you work together on that?
Yes, we have. I've worked with Paul on writing a lot of the speeches, with articles with him. We've written articles on standardized natural cannabis grows, which was our last talk last year. What I did going back about 3 years ago, my whole thing was trying to have the same efficacy of CannaCap over and over, so I was trying to standardize my grow over and over.
Correct.
That took 5 years,
and
we did a talk on that, on how I was able to standardize. He standardized my medicine. I standardized what went into it. Good. That's
a big thing, because I know, for me, when I first talked to my family doctor about it, that was the thing he said, is that if I send you over to the drugstore, I know that pill and the next pill you swallow and the next one you swallow are going to be exactly the same. He says, I can't see that in the cannabis end of it all. And this is something that obviously it sounds like that you and Paul have been working on in order to help with that.
I take the same ecstasy of cap over and over. I do that with my strain Medi-Kush. I know the ecstasies. I always go between a certain, with the fluctuation within 5%. I bake it at the same temperature. I've been doing this for years, and I have good pain control now.
Good.
And everybody knows that.
It's
And everybody can do this at home. So I mean, I don't need a doctor. Like.
You could do it at home. There's the problem right there. You know, they don't like that.
Okay, so here's the whole thing. I got all these injuries, and I only see a doctor once a year for my renewal, and every 3 months for my period, because I have acid reflux due to chronic pain that you just can't get rid of. Right? I've tried everything from potato waters to that little pill works like a drink. So, but.
All right. Well, let's move on to the expo. Will you be attending the TY Expo this year?
Of course I will.
Or will be?
I love TY. I've been there every year. It is probably one of the most unique events around the world where the industry it's great. I love the expo. I mean, the first year I was there, walking around, meeting all the people that I've never met in the industry before,
Right.
to smoking my cannabis with a few people there, and they're like, you have to enter into the cup next year. Like, this is like killer weed. Tell me more.
So you didn't enter the first year. Okay, I wondered about that.
No, I didn't enter the first year, and it's funny that actually Franco from Grindhouse was smoking some in my butt, and he says, you have to enter next year. He goes, don't come to Amsterdam, but enter next year. He goes, you'd win. So I did, and I won first place.
Yeah.
Go figure. A guy out of nowhere enters, and everybody's like, how did you do that? It's growing medicine, the strain that works so well for me. I spent years looking for it.
Right.
It has a lot to do with the efficacy. Of course, growing organic with that little bottle there, Medi-One. And I won the cup using Medi-One and Pro-Mix. That's all I use, guys. I use one bottle and Pro-Mix, no additives.
Nothing. You don't use nothing else, eh? Just straight Pro-Mix. I got some Medi-One questions here for you. I'm gonna get into some more of that because of my past experiences of dealing with organics. So what do you look forward to this year at the expo?
This year there's some new things going on for me. This year I'm bringing a new product, and it's called the Meditainer. So I'll have a booth with at TY, and we're actually sponsoring the expo this year with all the judges with their Meditainers for all their samples.
Okay.
Each one will be private grower, labeled number 1. The sample of 1 gram will be in a Meditainer, airtight, watertight, no cross-contamination at all.
That's right.
You'll open it, you'll pour your meds. I guess I should have something in here. I need a button now.
Yeah.
So I already did this already, but you open it up, your gram will be in there.
Yeah.
You pour it into your brand new Meditainer, so you're not using another grinder. The problem is every year you're grinding it with every grinder. So, and you're using the same grinder. So you know what? You're not getting the medical at all. It's all cross. How are we doing testing, right? So after talking with Marco and talking with the Meditainer and stuff like that, we put together that every judge will have one Meditainer for each. So now they can actually grind it, test it, smell it, grind.
All in the same container.
And they can grind it. They don't even and then you pour it in a rollie. I was doing this on the march, on the bus. I mean, on the green fire truck, right in the middle, just grinding away and standing and pouring, because this is my rolling station too, right?
Yeah.
And it's exciting because, I mean, it enables. I'm talking too much. I don't want my joint to go out. It won't, but it enables people to have it wherever they go. Medicine on the go the green way. No smell, key. You could be in a bank. we tag our meditators in high-end restaurants just sitting on the counter right beside the salt. You can't smell it. In the lineup at the bank, you set it at the thing where you're signing your pen. You cannot smell it, which is great.
Good.
So now you can take your medicine wherever you go. Great for fishing, camping. Funny, fishing stores are selling it, but
yeah, so I guess it's waterproof, eh? So if someone was fishing, they could drop it in the water and they could pick it up and not worry about it.
You can actually put it in your pocket. Go swim into that little island in the middle of the beach. Where you have the beach, have that island out there.
Yeah.
Go swim out there. Get out inside your meditator. It's a pack of rollies, a lighter, and a few buds. You get out there, you grind her up. You got your little honey with you, and you're out there on the rock blazing a fatty, and they're like, no way.
Yeah.
It's just another way of getting the education out there. Like I said, medicine on the go, the green way.
Yeah.
This is just another way. I have this box display.
Yeah.
Of the scanners like this, and I want to see one in every gas station, in every corner store. This is medicine.
Yeah, it is.
And it's not going away. And I need my medicine on the go. And if you don't want to smell it, now I have something so you don't have to smell it. You might not want to look at it. You might want a purple one or a pink one, or you know what I mean?
Right.
Like we're having fun with it.
The green one there?
Of course.
Of course.
What's your favorite number? I got numbered ones for TY.
Good. Good. I look forward to seeing them in 2 weeks. Actually, that'd be 2 weeks. I'll see them. So.
Yeah.
So that's what you're looking forward to. What about past experiences such as dealing with the public? You got any, like, as far as people that you're at the booth and people that come up to the booth? You got any experiences there?
Everybody there has got a smile on their face. It has got to be one of the most happiest events. Like everybody's there and they got a grin.
Yeah.
And everybody wants to learn. And like myself, all I want to do is tell people.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
So, I have a lot of fun meeting all the different people, a lot of patients that are asking questions because of myself and what I've done over the last 5 years with all my articles published and stuff like that. A lot of people are asking me how I'm doing things and stuff like that, and I try to give them that door. Here's that door. Here's what you can do. And it's nice being able to educate people and help people, right?
That's right.
The expo is so full of education. Every booth, every person there, from a seed company to the glass guys, to the medicinal parts, to the guys that are for the doctors, to the companies that are selling the nutrients. Everybody's there is there to help educate the public, and that's what's so great. And it's out in the open. It's different from the High Times Cup. It's different from the Kush Cups. I've never been a fan of this, but once again, that is a huge event.
Right.
But I will hopefully go next year. But I mean, the TY Expo over the last 3 years is just getting more and more well known. It's becoming an international event.
It is.
People are really looking forward to it. I'm getting emails from Amsterdam, UK, Australia. It's really kind of cool that people are contacting me wondering how am I going and this and that. That's what I'm saying. It's just a whole.
It's a big family, isn't it?
It's a bunch of people all getting together, loving a plant, right?
That's right. Now, do you think that some people might wonder, is it just people that are cannabis consumers who come to the expo? Do you run into a lot of people who aren't consumers? So, like, people look at it as, are we just preaching to the choir, or are you finding that you're seeing people who are just there to learn?
I found a lot of these people are patients, but they don't know how to grow, or they don't know the strains, and they don't know how to consume it. They want to. That's the difference. The people behind the booths are the people that's preaching to the choir. The people that are on the outside of that booth are patients and people that want to know. And the ones, you don't have to preach to people because if they don't want to listen to you, they've heard it before. I found with the expo, the people that asked questions were the ones that were needing to be educated on it, needed to know more about this plant, were using it and just didn't know, you know what I mean? So Not at all. I found it completely the opposite.
Good.
Whereas in other smaller venues, it's like preaching to the choir because you see everybody you know.
Yeah. Well, some people say the choir needs refreshing every once in a while too. So never hurts.
100% because a lot of the choir is we're here, we're high, get used to it. I'm screaming, do you know about the endocannabinoid system, anandamide, 2-AG? I'm screaming at a doctor. I go, you know what I'm talking about? He's got this big smile on his face, and I'm on a bus, and he's on the corner. Like, why aren't you educating your patients? He's not saying anything, but he's got this big grin on his face, right?
Exactly.
So, I mean, I think the education back and forth with one another, preaching to the choir, I learned a lot from people like yourself, from Dana, from everybody, from Marco, no matter who you deal with. There's always some bit of information that is being offered by another part of this vast trying to legalize and to get the information out there. Medicating and the medical is what's legalizing worldwide because the government can't really stop it with social media, and that's where the legalization is coming into effect with all of the places in the U.S., states, internationally, all over the world. Everything is going for medical.
Yep.
Medical. Well, actually, let's reverse that. Washington and Colorado are there for
recreational purposes. That's right. And they got what 18 that are medical, right? And they got the 2 that are legal for recreational users. Now, when it comes to these, we already touched on this as far as what your secret is when you come to these trophies from the expo. You're competing again this year, I assume, right? You'll be competing in the VIP Cup, yeah.
Yeah.
You and Remo are you guys starting to build some type of thing here between the two of you, being that you guys seem to be...
Cool, I love the guy. He's friends.
Yeah, I know.
No matter where we go, the first thing we do, we're like, we love each other's weed because we're both connoisseurs and we both grow connoisseur weed. Not at all.
Good.
I in 2011 I entered because for one I was said I should, and I was doing it because I was trying to prove a point with medicine, with medicinal, with WCB, and what I'm doing, and I won first place. I went in last year and entered just because I wanted to, and this year, really, it's about medicine, and it's about being able to produce the same efficacy over and over, and be able to produce, and have the same medicine for patients. This is a medical cup. We're looking at it is the TY Medical Cannabis. It is my cups say medical.
That's right.
Marijuana.
That's right. That's what's on
the expo. This is about medicine.
Yeah.
So I'm really hoping to see a lot more strains, a lot more people growing medicine, a lot better. I don't know how to say it. I'd love to see really good genetics, and I'm really happy to be a part of it.
Yeah, and make it hard on the judges.
Oh, you have to make it hard on the judges.
That's right. Okay, you've explained to us your secret formula for winning with Medi-One and Pro Mix. Can you tell us about Medi-One? This is your chance to let us know about this product.
Medi-One. It's one carb grown bloom nutrient. It's basically made of Atlantic Manhattan herring.
Yeah.
It's got potash in it. It's got kelp in it. It's got all of your main ingredients that you're looking at for an organic feed. It is a 433 feed, which people look at the numbers and they're like, "What's that?" Well, what's the best way of saying this with organics and with Medi-One? I can force feed McDonald's down my plants, which is going to be a full feeding program of a synthetic line.
Yeah.
They're going to get big and fat. You know, if they taste okay, or I can feed my plants out here. We have the keg, which is it's high end. It's what everybody goes to. It's your basic.
It's organic.
But it's not your basic. It's your higher end restaurants better than than the moxies or
Okay,
herbs and
yeah.
stuff like that, right? And I'm going to give my plants steak and lobster, but I'm going to let them eat it whatever they want, because when you feed the soil, the plants take up what they want.
Correct.
When you feed the plants, you get deficiencies.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Now that's
I just get to grow very good genetics that I have seeked out and found,
mhm.
and that a few of them have been granted to me by some people that are no longer with us, which was, you know what, I'm honored to be able to have the strains that I have and be able to get involved with that. But it comes down to growing organic, and that's what it comes down to. Organic is where your medicine is. It's like your food. I buy organic apples. They taste better. Sorry, organic milk tastes better. Organic eggs, yeah, they're better yolks. They taste better. They're just richer.
Free range, yeah, coming from free range chickens and stuff like that, instead of chickens that have been stuffed in a cage.
I grow all of my vegetables. My whole garden is all done with rain catchers and Medi-One. I grow my tomatoes.
You use it in your vegetable garden as well?
Everything, my rhodos, my whole garden. I mean, I'm sponsored. I go through 4 liters of Medi-One about every 3 months, and with that, I do 49 plants. I also have my moms. I feed my garden. I don't feed my grass. I feed my rhodos. I have my Jap maples. I feed twice a year with Medi-One. You know what? My neighbors take pictures. People stand in front of my yard and take pictures. I got a gorgeous yard. You know what I mean? Like, I got bee balm. I'm growing echinacea. I got all the medicinal herbs growing in the front of my yard that are beautiful.
Nice.
And I go and harvest them.
Nice.
All right. My poppies look beautiful, stuff like that. So I grow I got a box full of medicinal herbs. The jars down there is all the stuff that I've grown for everything from dandelion root works good for inflammation, right? So there's all different ways of looking at pain control on a natural level. And I'm one of the guys that enjoys growing his medicine, and this is what gets me there.
That's right.
Is easy for me because I don't have a lab in my basement. I have additives that I've added to it. Massive is bigger fruit.
Right.
Finisher, organic finisher. There's everybody's got different tweaks.
Right.
There's all different nutrients out there. Every company carries an organic line. Use it.
Yeah, that was something I was going to get into on the Meta one. Like there's products out there that are organic based.
Yeah.
And then there's organic products. So is Meta One organic based or is it organic?
It's organic.
Okay. So it could be used in conjunction with microlife in the soil.
Basically, Medi-One grows, right?
Yeah.
So there's lots of areas and things like that. So you got to mix and feed with it. If you mix this and let it sit, it's gonna reach.
Right. Yeah.
Medi-One is more geared that way. It's at low pH.
Yeah.
So a lot of people don't, they're not used to it. It does smell. I love it. You know why? It's simple. I'm
simple,
disabled,
yeah.
Man.
Well, you said it was
It's simple. It gives me great yields, and what I'm looking for my end, I'm happy with. I was very much a part of testing it. I was very much a part of in the beginning of what we were looking at. I said I wanted organics dealing with Green Planet, and they brought this product, and the name tossed around, and we were working with Dr. Hornby and stuff like that, and you know what? It's something I was a part of, and of course I use it because it's pretty much born around what we were looking at as being able to have the same accuracy of cannabis over and over, and we're able to do that with organics. And if you have the same strain, same cutting, with the same feeding program, the plant's always going to eat the same.
So do you flush with it, or you just start basically you stop using it like around week 6 for an 8-week schedule? And
I feed till day 35.
Yeah.
And I flush for 30 to 41 days.
Wow, really? Why such a long flush?
For one, when you feed the soil, the plants take up what they want. It takes longer to get organics out of the soil.
Right.
With synthetic, they flush them through, right?
Yeah.
It's already in the plant and in roots. Of course, your leaves are full of nutrients.
Yeah.
So I mean, a lot of people are freaking out. My leaves are going yellow. It's these things. I hope they are.
Yeah, I see a lot of yellow in those other style
Right.
plants.
Everybody's certainly been growing, and I see guys that cut down their plants and full of green. I'm like, dude, that plant's still full of nutrients. It's burning black. They're lighting it like this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, not burning anything like that.
Like I say, for me, it's cost efficient. That's all I use. And then I use Finisher. Lately, I've been using some Zyme, which is Zyme can be a really good beneficial.
Yeah.
I mean, there's all different ways.
Doing it, yeah.
It comes down to temperatures per strain. Certain people grow at 86 degrees. I'm a 78 down to 74. I lower my temperatures, lower my humidities in the last couple weeks of flower, just like it does outside. There's other ways of growing, and we can really get into growing and stuff like that.
Exactly. So basically, it's a product that has to be used with the soil or soilless medium.
Yeah, it doesn't go good in the hydro system.
No good in the hydro system. That's it. No. Now, I read something about it. You have to watch the pH with it. You got using pH up on it.
You need pH up, 100%.
To bring it up.
Yeah, it's set low pH for shelf life because it is living, right?
Right.
Because it's all bacteria, right? So it's got a low pH, so it gives it a shelf life.
Yeah. And is there an organic pH up that can be used?
Yes, there is. I can't think of the name of it right now. It's not offered through Green Planet. It's offered through another company. I got a fish on the front. I even know what the bottle looks like, but I just can't think of it right now.
Yeah, because I know some people will use vinegar and stuff like that in order to bring the pH up.
Yeah, but the problem is using too much of it, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, and that's what it comes down to, is everybody just trying to go natural, maybe sometimes too much isn't good for it. So, I recommend, I mean, for me, I use Echo Root. I use an organic rooting hormone. But, I mean, for me, I use, that's what I use, basically. For me, I use everything organic, and that's what I basically have been doing.
Well, that's the way to grow. I've got one last question for you before we wrap up here. And that is there anything that you'd like to say or add to what we've talked about? I can hear the hail hit the windows here. Just that's what the look was about here.
You got hail going on.
Yeah, we got hail coming down here.
Oh, you know what? I mean, it's great being able to get involved in this community and such a great plant. And I mean, right now, my fight has led me to BC Supreme Court to have cannabis covered for seriously injured workers. That is my big fight, and I have been fighting this now for 7 years. I've had 3 or 4 different appeals on it. I've had WCAT decisions to denials to filing the BC Supreme Court of BC in Chilliwack, actually, just over a year ago. And I got a big fight on my hands right now to have alternative medicines covered for people like myself suffering from traumatic injuries. It states in WorkSafeDC policy that they have to endure all costs related to my injury. Well, they are not paying for alternative medicines. They will only pay for pharmaceutical drugs. Like other people that are on assistance and stuff like that, they get an allowance, like $100 a month for alternative medicines, or you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so,
you need more than that.
Correct. Let's just go across the board with everybody, because if this wins, that's a huge thing. That's going to be it's not just injured workers, right?
Especially
and we're looking at alternative medicines for pain control for people suffering. And why are we not covered? There should be some kind of a separate fund for it, $200 a month. I don't care what it is. I just want something for me using alternative medicines other than the $1,388 a month I used to pay for my prescription drugs. That was my prescription drugs. A month, $1,388, and they won't give me a dime for my alternative medicines.
Yeah. Same here in the province of Ontario. There's no assistance for us here when it comes to that.
No.
And I know there's been some patients have tried to get their volcanoes and vaporizers and stuff covered under like ODSP. So
And that's not really working out, is it?
yeah. Okay, John. Well, at this moment, I'd like to say thank you to you for taking time to educate everyone about your condition, Medi-One, the Expo, and everything that we've touched on. I'd also like to thank everybody here at the Grindhouse, Gerhard and his staff, for allowing us to educate people on cannabis, and everyone who's present and watching on YouTube when we get her up there. Thank you for being people that are advocating cannabis education. See you
All
later.
right.
Thank you.
Well, peace.